the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Atifo Yamamokwaba eba Nsem-Pii TV so. Now Menoka say the case between the Republic and Boahen, National Signals Bureau boss. Attorney General adena go gina court to say we are Oman sika 49 million Ghana cedis. The atoto nsase any houses near the ade no. Honorable Dapaa, when you say Honorable Dapaa or no, and now the National Security Minister for the 8 years of the NPP in Ghana or in government. Honorable Dapaa a movie to stand in as a witness for Boahen. Atachia edimu details na bana. Na ye ka say NDC ora we no. Eye political gimmicks bi na omode ye. Ana nkofo fi say ye boa. Because there is no way as sika ana account so a Attorney General claiming yes say Boahen creating no. Dapaa enim hu bibia. But as to say Attorney General ebita Dapaa ho asem ana wambisa no ho asem, we don't know. Honorable Atajia, our lawyer for Boahen, edimu details, emu informations, interview granted with TV3, and yanko ti Atajia, and the analysis of Eugene was to do our demand case.
Was if and the contract was with an Israeli company, why not transfer directly from the National Signals Bureau account into that account? And again, the allegation is that instead of the 49 million Ghana cedis, your client transferred just 1 point something, and the rest they couldn't trace it. It was rather transferred into his private account. That was the basis.
You see, do you know who should come and interpret this? Dapaa. So when you sit down there and you are wise after the event, this is what you think you should do. But do you know what they were trying to do with the operational account? Have you heard anywhere in the world that people will discuss operational accounts of national security? Are you not going to educate the national security? Why didn't you go X or Y? What kind of indiscretion is that?
I'm sure you want to ensure that your client gets a favorable ruling, as it were, or judgment from the court. Have you spoken to the former National Security Minister, Dapaa, yourself?
I have. Why not? He's a very critical individual in the matter.
And he has explained to you why your client did what he did?
Yes.
And you think that is justifiable?
Why not justifiable? Right now, who should be the complainant? Is it not Dapaa who should say that Boahen was a rogue, security operative, and while I was there, he was stealing money. And now you come in there, you want to do your final post-mortem, as if you want to second guess Dapaa.
But won't that implicate him? Because if you look at the National Signals Bureau, it works with the National Security Council.
Look, can you divorce the Signal Bureau from the Minister for National Security? Can you divorce that office? Do you know the one who superintends over all the affairs of national security? He's a minister. This is just, excuse me to say, an appendage of the system. So you think the minister is deprived of power to superintend Kwabena Boahen?
Let me get you correctly. Are you directly saying that if Boahen is being tried, perhaps Dapaa should also be interrogated in the midst of this because everything was done in conjunction with his office?
You see, don't you think the investigation is sitting upside down? That you wouldn't want to call Dapaa first. In fact, the first prosecution witness, if this is a crime, should be Dapaa.
How do you know the Attorney General doesn't have it in its pocket, as it were, to call Dapaa?
But the trial is on. They've said they are holding 3 witnesses. We know the witnesses. Dapaa is not one of them.
You talked about, and so you're challenging the Attorney General to call Dapaa if indeed he wants to have a proper case. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't want to tell you the tactics I will use. But whoever should exonerate Kwabena Boahen, I'll call to come and exonerate him, if we come to that point.
You talked about the fact that the approach the Attorney General used in arresting your client, you describe him as a senior national security couple. That's what you said.
That is who he is.
And he shouldn't have been arrested at the Kotoka International Airport like he did. Let me read to you a bit of what the Attorney General said in that press conference. He said that your client seemed to throw dust into the eyes of investigators by buying tickets to UK and then to Dubai, and suspecting surveillance put a stop order, or a stop order was placed, leading to him being arrested. How do you interpret that?
Does it make sense to you that a man is playing with tickets to avoid arrest? Then he comes into the Ghanaian space. I mean, that's an absurdity. The man who is trying to run away from justice comes into a place where he can be arrested.
The interpretation is that I've traveled, and so your attention will not be on the fact that I'm even back in the country.
But why did he come to Kotoka International Airport? Preposterous. Why did he? The man who is hiding his travel itinerary from the investigators of this realm now comes to Kotoka International Airport, not via a canoe, but an aeroplane.
You're not worried about the allegation by the Attorney General that your client tried to swindle authorities by, confusing his whereabouts?
He is rather probably confused. But I don't see any sane man who is being chased by national security or security forces, and then all that he does is to come into the space where he can be arrested. You understand the people who are trying to run away from justice? They don't show up. They are in foreign climes. Who will buy a ticket that, I'm coming to be arrested? Let's be real. These are the kind of things that if you get your own, choreographed press conference, so journalists will not critique the rationality of what you are saying. It will pass.
I know we are not talking about the former finance minister, but I don't know, when you mentioned the bit that those who are trying to run away from justice, they will not even show up. Are you trying to bring?
No, I'm not casting any insinuations at all, and I'm not intimating that that's him. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying that if you want to rationalize a scenario of a man who knows that is being pursued by the security forces, and then he's using air tickets to confuse them. The self-same man who is trying to hide his itinerary from Yoko or whatever institution comes to Ghana through the Kotoka International Airport. Does that not sound absurd to you? Why would he do that?
I'm on fire, the other side of the conversation. Now, this is why I am likely to make us believe I attach some now can as a madrin ya call kesi ni temi ye. Kobnedu Boahen no the National Signals Bureau ano ne boss in the National Security Architecture Dapaa. Yeni say Dapaa National Security Minister for 8 years. Omokoto software no who on the National Security Council approved the software. One, when payments were made, are we saying said the national security boss, Dapaa didn't know anything about or anybody on the National Security Council, including the president? Nobody knew about it. 3, are we saying said from 2018, according to the fact of the Attorney General, Adia Brand now 27 houses, or be companies, or movie sika, or near Baba friend and Mildred, then Adia. Nobody in the National Security Architecture knew this. Is that what we are saying? Again, utie attaching ye pana. As a person say, I didn't na Dapaa hubi. As the National Security boss, you just say to Amanda Apuzo, multimedia. Apuzo also under general manager Jimmy Agla. Jimmy Agla under Kenansa CEO. Kenansa under Kwesichum, who is the CEO or the owner of the business. It is a meeting someone here. All these layers of people didn't know. And I say you're charging one money be Attorney General because as I read the fact of the case as president, me who Dapaa do. So I believe say Dapaa as the boss of the national security must also answer some questions. That is my view. The more I listen to Atacha, the more I'm tempted to as what can be. Yes, for what time Atacha don't change. Listen to the audio. Go back no could play. No about him. Listen to him carefully. Why are we not also questioning the likes of Atacha Dapaa and the other National Security Council bosses? Because the national security capo to me translates because no person just said the entire national security architecture. So there may be collusion. Say, nipa we yakabomzi enye bibi. Is that the case? Medwin sa Attorney General video ya wanhui. And a video and so man adwen course and adwen kwa minim neta make say case nyina nim say Babranta not plead this only guilty. Back and forth. Men take Dapaa in all this conversation until now. It is any nima. I'm also using conditional clauses. And to say if his name is not in, send an girl ni busano. Because Atacha as we speak on take Dapaa, and if there's anybody to question Dapaa, for a lawyer of Atacha's repute who has the evidence of the case before him, to make that pronouncement means only Bibi say Yekobusa Dapaa. You bring a bit more information that may possibly bring to light Nyama Bebrayen nim so far. And now say will exonerate the scribes to come to Dubai because me a brand here no. What shall me fair to the make I say? Nyama Mukenya, it cannot be possible just about a brand and then a Chairman also man a letter no. Woo. You cannot ask dead men questions. Those who are alive are Honorable Dapaa, who are the National Security Minister. Let's ask them questions. Let's ask them questions. Medwin say Ghana, you the prejudice they had. Oh, Nsem-Pii ask them oh, and your cousin Debbie remove your touch every conversation. Now, just some now all can ye. Think about what he's saying carefully. I do want him corner yes I do because I ran to me principle no ra me na after video betting yan yi sika obedem nko dem mfa me ho minim ne ba bia enyam na me be defend no but attach some na wo kan tie ni bi opan bibi wom tie first 4 minutes tie ni bi.
And now we are in the court. But let me tell you one of the things which happened also. The theatrics did not start with the Attorney General. Can you imagine that a security couple of the realm called Ghana comes to Ghana through Kotoka International Airport, not through the bush. And he's supposed to be prosecuted or investigated. And then when he's in the airport, they put a handcuff on his hand like a common criminal. All that I've come to know is that when you say you are investigating somebody, a phone call, oh yes, Boahen, Yoko would want you to come over tomorrow for us to start an investigation. You may come with your lawyer, and the time scheduled you for the interrogation is 1 p.m.
We'll go into that as regards why the Attorney General, based on the Attorney General's own words, why he chose to use that avenue. Well, he was arrested by Yoko at the Kotoka International Airport. But back to my question about whether or not the revelation from the Attorney General shocked you as a person that an individual would have as much as that amount of money transferred into his private account.
But it's all bogus. I have to tell you that if you pay regard to what they were trying to say, they didn't even understand why the account was open. There's a clear indication that the money was coming from the operational account of the national security, and they wanted to do operations via accounts they opened. So you could see a letter originating from the then national security and the coordinator, chairman, to Advantage Solutions that they should open the account so that they do what they do.
So the point was, and the contract was with an Israeli company, why not transfer directly from the National Signals Bureau account into that account? And again, the allegation is that instead of the 49 million Ghana cedis, your client transferred just 1 point something, and the rest they couldn't trace it. It was rather transferred into his private account. That was the basis.
You see, do you know who should come and interpret this? Dapaa. So when you sit down there and you are wise after the event, this is what you think you should do. But do you know what they were trying to do with the operational account? Have you heard anywhere in the world that people will discuss operational accounts of national security? Are you not going to educate the national security? Why didn't you go X or Y? What kind of indiscretion is that?
I'm sure you want to ensure that your client gets a favorable ruling, as it were, or judgment from the court. Have you spoken to the former National Security Minister, Dapaa, yourself?
I have. Why not? He's a very critical individual in the matter.
And he has explained to you why your client did what he did?
Yes.
And you think that is justifiable?
Why not justifiable? Right now, who should be the complainant? Is it not Dapaa who should say that Boahen was a rogue, security operative, and while I was there, he was stealing money? And now you come in there, you want to do your final post-mortem, as if you want to second-guess Dapaa.
But won't that implicate him? Because if you look at the National Signals Bureau, it works with the National Security Council.
Look, can you divorce the Signal Bureau from the Minister for National Security?
Yes. Bibi wom. If there is anybody, if or you conditional clause say you say be a crime asidia and yankobusa Dapaa. Ono na account. Attorney General wadwe ma ha, mo adwe ma ho. Say mu hu me videos even ma frɛ me. Omo mo send no, and mo send we nkoma no. Say na adwe ma ho a. Sa na make if his mind does not